Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. The thought that comes to my mind is how to improve oneself, how to get away from the undesirable to the desirable, if at all. What is the secret and the instant way of doing it? You know, I am always researching into the subject of spirituality, human life, particularly the mind, intelligence, ego, and beyond. This research is going on in me. It is all the more necessary and purposeful because I am an exponent of the subject. And being an exponent and going to different places year after year, I think about the subject, wishing to present it in various ways. Every time there must be, not intentionally, something new and renewed one. In the same way I am talking in the form of Prabhata Rashmih here. Whenever we are here in this ashram, not going outside, Prabhata Rashmih continues to be here. Such a Prabhata Rashmih is held when we go out also, wherever it is possible. So continuously I am talking. This also means that there must be a parallel research going on so that I will be able to talk something new or refreshing every time. So today, this is the thought that came to my mind. Why is it that people are not able to bring more and more of goodness, sublimity, divinity and spirituality in them? You will agree when I say that the whole creation, the entire endless various world has sprung from God. The world as it is very much appalling, awesome. It presents before us such an amazing variety that while it is wonderful and alluring on many fronts, it is very depressing and afflicting on many other fronts. These afflictions and enjoyments both together constitute the world complexity. And such a world has sprung from somewhere. And everyone will agree that it has sprung or emerged from God. The question necessarily arises then, can God be non-good? We generally describe God as goodness and gracious. Such a gracious and good God, can He bring about this amazing variety in which 50% at least are very much tormenting, afflicting? So the intriguing nature of the world continues, and a good seeker will have to find an answer. Yesterday I spoke to you how was mentioning to me, I find a futility in life and the world. Now the sense of futility is what the dejected mind or disappointed mind feels. But we should not stop there. While it is true that afflicting and tormenting moods are there, we have to probe further and further and reach a level of transcendence where neither the delightful side of the world will allure you nor the depressing sides of the world will deject you. You will reach a state of transcendence as you are floating in the water. The water drowns you and you learn swimming in the very same water, and then you start either swimming or rowing in the water. In the same manner, we must be able to make a huge water collection of the world in which we shall start mentally swimming all the time, never finding the drowning power of the water a trouble or a depressant. This is something very important. So the world has sprung from God. The world has sprung from God, and God is godly. Now the question I propose to us, how to eliminate or get rid of the undesirable things in us and how to develop the desirables. The best way will be not to struggle with the undesirables. What you have to do is that The desirable and the undesirable both spring from the same source. And where is that source? Our eyes remain the same, hands remain the same. Sometimes the eyes and the hands do undesirables. Sometimes they do the desirables. So the change is not either in the eyes or in the hands or in the legs. Then where is the change? You have to identify it as in the mind. Now the mind, the same mind becomes the source for the desirable projections and the undesirable ones. So there is a point within you where the source, as I said, the entire world is born of God. In the same manner, the desirable and undesirable propulsions equally emerge from the same source. So the source is different from both and transcends both. And where is that source? Maybe the source of the world is beyond your reach and inaccessible. It will remain so. But the source of good as well as bad propulsions arising from within your mind cannot be inaccessible. It is 1 millimeter below the mind. So delve into your own inner personality, go beyond the good-bad thoughts, go beyond the desirable, undesirable propulsions and reach at the source. The distance to be covered is practically a zero. What is the distance to your mind? Nothing. And what is the distance to the mind source? It is still more nothing. So it is perfectly within the body. In your search, you cannot go behind the back or before the chest. You cannot go above the head and below the feet. It is all within this body, within this mind. So the distance is verily a zero. This is the art and process of life. What is the entire meditation for? It is not to complain about the mind and the bad thoughts. It is to transcend the mind and its thought processes. Can you transcend if you ask me? Yes, 1,000 times I will say yes. But you should know that there is something called transcending and you must attempt it. Everybody who meditates gets up and then says, Swamiji, I practice meditation, but my mind goes on thinking. What do you expect the mind to do? It has to be thoughtful. And the thoughts will be by their very nature various. So the variety in thinking is more to be understood than to be complained about. My words have to be understood very clearly. They are more to be understood than to be complained about. Within the variety of the thoughts, above its variety, is the source that you are searching and referring to. So the purpose of meditation is to dissolve the thought process or transcend the thought process and reach the source of both good and bad thoughts. When you go there, especially with the intention of eliminating the undesirable and encouraging the desirable, when you go there, then the next exit of thoughts will be different from the undesirable and more in the group of the desirable. Imagine a circle, perfect circle. Divide it into two, a diameter, and at the center of the diameter make a circle. There the diameter should break. I generally speak of it as 3 segments, Sattva-guna, Rajo-guna and Tamo-guna. The 3 segments, they don't meet centrally, but there is a circle, a short circle there. Now when you get from Rajo-guna to the circle, then you can easily exit to the Sattva-guna. If you want to exit into Tamo-guna, that also becomes easy. So whether you are in Tamas or Rajas, get into the central empty circle and then exit into wherever you want. In the same manner, as this inner circle is there, where all the three segments do not touch, it is a free space. In the same manner, within your personality, there is a free circle from where both the desirable and the undesirable proceed. So remain in that circle, get there, dip into that, and then when you exit, you will find when the thoughts begin to express, very good thoughts will come. This is how when you meditate and get absorbed and you get up from the meditation, you will find the most sublime and divine thoughts come. Now what is my secret formula then? My secret formula is this. I don't know whether you will understand what I say, much less reflect upon what I say. What? Understand the bad and good are equally projections and display from the same source. And the source, I call it the subject or subjectude. It is beyond good and bad. You should be able to make every thought equally divine and sublime. Refuse to recognize anything as bad. Be imbued with the transcendent circle within you and find everything to be a projection and a display from there. So this subjectude or subjectivity should be infused into every function of the mind and the intelligence. When you start doing it, you will find the whole life will become divine. Maybe initially some bad thoughts will linger on. In a matter of days, weeks and months, you will find the badness in you dissolves and the entire thing becomes transcendently good, sublime and beautiful. My dear souls, this is 100% correct. Every thought that arises in your mind should only be enlightening, but never scorching or tormenting. The fire should start giving only light, but not heat. What do you call that fire then? That is what moonlight is. Moonlight has no heat, but sun has heat and light. Now the sun should become the moon. So every thought should be enlightening. It may give you some information, light or knowledge, but no thought will victimize you with affliction or torment. I don't know whether you accept what I say, whether you understand it. Unfortunately, people struggle with meditation. They are not meditating. They are simply sitting. What I would like the meditators to do is to get into that circle free of all the three segments, sattva, rajas and tamas. Abide there, and then from there you proceed, you will find the sattvic propulsions overtake the other two. It's such a wonderful process. The subject in you should start overwhelming all kinds of objective actions and interactions. Harihi Om Tats Jai.